Over the past several years, I have played my fair share of Soul-like games, from Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Neo, and many of others. With each and every one of these titles that I have played, I can honestly tell you that I do realize that they have brought in their own unique identity to the genre of the Soul-like games, or action RPGs if you prefer. And with the first Berserker Khazan, this game as well brings its own unique style as well to this list. Personally, I have played roughly now for over 60 hours in this demo, and I have watched and rewatched many of the trailers. I have read all the information pretty much provided by the official development team over at Neopol on their official Discord, on their website, and I can only describe this game as a work of art, as a true masterpiece if you would. From its stunning visuals of the game, to the absolute amazing cinema-style voice acting it provides, to the heavily engaging and well-defined combat, to its most incredible story premise. Everything here just feels like an amazing blend of everything you could want in a simple to easy, one amazing package. And this is where we can see that the amazing devs at Neopol has not only put a lot of time and effort into this game, but they have put a lot of love, care, and passion, all of which you can see has been helping to develop this game into a great experience and give it a heart. As well as I do believe that we have seen with this game, not only it being improved over time since its first initial announcement back in 2023 at the Game Awards, but it has stayed true to the vision with very little deviation to its core concept. Now, while this game isn't really, at its core, a revolutionary game that's going to redefine the genre, the first Berserker Khazan brings to the table a style that I do believe rivals many other Soul-like experiences from the recent years. And the reason for this is that I feel that with this game in particular, it brings back the core vision of what makes a Soul-like experience so fun. And that is the achievement of overcoming challenge. You see, I'm not sure about you, but the more I play the demo, the more I'm experiencing this straight up satisfaction of pure enjoyment that comes from overcoming the challenges in this game that has been presented to me with each and every playthrough that I have done. Now, trust me, I do know before you say, this isn't the final product. This is just a demo. But I have to say that for even a demo, this has been one of the most very well polished experiences that I have felt that provides me a feeling of accomplishment and yearning. Something that majority of the newer Soul-like experiences that has been released in the recent years has failed to provide for me. Because you see, with games like Wukong, Lies of P, Lords of the Fallen, and other releases that's happened in the past few years, each of these titles, while being great games with their own style, they haven't made me feel the way I have felt so far with the Berserker Khazan. Or even like older Soul titles such as Bloodborne or Elden Ring, where I want to keep replaying the game 1,000 times over. With these more recent titles that have been released, they have left me feeling more or less like acknowledging how great the experience is, but not giving me the drive to want to replay the game. The presentation's great, the story's great, the world looks beautiful, but the replay value doesn't feel to be quite there. And I feel for myself that the cause for this is almost as if there was a little bit of lack of passion that was been put into them with the development team. Because some of these games I do feel provide more of a artificial difficulty scaling and unbalancing, where bosses and enemies, if you would, act more like bullet sponges. And even in some cases with some of these games, there's poor optimization, the control mechanics do sometimes feel a little bit shallow, the game itself could feel a little bit more uninspired, which makes the overall experience, a 7 out of 10 if you would. It just feels a little bit more hollow. And the way I see it is that with these games, they can at times just feel like they're missing the heart and soul that the older titles that is in the Soul-like genre has provided in the past. This is where I have to say, the first Berserker Khazan, I really do believe it gets this entire formula correct. The game feels far more engaging. Its story is very much making me yearn for more. Its combat is absolutely amazing, requiring split-second, reactions rather than simple pattern memorization. The challenges around this makes me think about my next move and how to overcome the enemies before me rather than just mindlessly hacking away. A good example of this that really stands out to me about this game is something that I rarely see in general with modern games of this day and age, is that from the very moment you start this demo, you start this game, it teaches you as a player, not just through traditional tutorials, but through the world itself, how to manage through the game. For example, we have two bosses in the demo, and the first boss you're going to face is the Yeti. And this Yeti boss that you're going to face is basically introduced throughout the world through smaller mini bosses that are scattered around the place. These enemies share a similar moveset, similar movement patterns, attack styles, and effectively is preparing you as a player when you're facing them to face the boss battle that comes ahead. And even with the Blade Phantom in the second part of this demo, you've already started encountering enemies with similar movement and attack timings to where the game itself is just naturally reinforcing the importance of this defensive mechanism like guarding and parrying, ensuring that players like ourselves are prepared and ready for the challenge ahead. And this is where I seriously need to give credit to the development team on this approach, because the last time I seen a game's tutorial level guide a player into learning their options without forcing, 100 different tutorial screens to teach them would have been back on the old Super Nintendo playing Mega Man X, where the entire first introduction to the game, the first stage, was designed to force you as a player to learn how your character operated, to build the sense of pride of achievement from learning how to play. We live in a world now to where many games nowadays gives players the answers before they even make a mistake. And Khazan does a great approach in making you have to earn the answers through trial and error, which at the end of the day to me is the definition of what makes a great Soul-like experience. Now, I would like to also add that with the first Berserker Khazan, there has come a few flaws in different departments with the game, such as enemies sometimes being a little bit too RNG based on their behavior. What I mean by this is where you're going to possibly face more aggressive type enemies as well as more passive type enemies throughout your playthrough, or even the lack of button remapping at this time. There's different little cons here and there, but even with these cons in this game, the overall experience to me has been a wonderful journey. We have a dedicated development team that to this day is still updating this demo and putting changes every so often based on player feedback, and you can see it. I have overall been more than pleasantly surprised by the overall heart that Neopol Action Studios has been delivering in achieving to give us this amazing experience. Now with that, I can tell you that there is many more things we can talk about with the Berserker Khazan, but let's go ahead and save that for another video. I think we're just going to go ahead and stop it here to try to shorten down the video. But before I let you go, I would like to go ahead and try to implore to you that if you haven't downloaded the demo yet and you haven't tried out the first Berserker Khazan, then please do so. It's on Xbox, it's on PlayStation, it's on Steam. You can go ahead and download the demo on any of these platforms. Because I think that if you are a person that is looking for a good game that provides a challenge that is not really too difficult, but very much provides that enjoyment of overcoming challenges, then this game is going to be for you. And I would implore you to give the demo a shot. Come back here and let me know what your thoughts is on the demo. So, with all that, guys, just to let you know, here on this channel, we have been streaming this demo every evening after 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. We're doing different tests, different challenges, different runs throughout the entire demo. And we will continue doing this until the full release of this game. So, if you're interested in experiencing this, why not consider come join us on the streams if you can catch them. And let's go ahead and let's talk about Khazan. Let's talk about this game and how amazing the experience is behind it. All right. So with that, ladies and gents, I'll leave you be. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. Don't forget to like the video. And like always, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, keep it real, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.